Hello, welcome to Popalong RC, the RC car channel dedicated to RC car racing, and today it's back into the car room and I've got some wrenching to be done. So here at Popalong RC, we're all about getting you guys into RC car racing. Now, here on the channel, we started out in the early days and it was all about budget racing, affordable racing, so that you could get yourself a car and get yourself on the track. And when it comes to RC, part of this RC journey is the building of the car. It's very easy to go to the shop, buy yourself a ready to run and head straight out and have a play. But another part of the hobby is sort of building of the car and really getting to understand the car. And one brand that does this brilliantly is Tamiya. My first RC car ever was indeed a Tamiya, and today we are taking a look at this Tamiya over here. So this is the latest Tamiya to hit the Popalong channel. This is a kit that we're going to build up, the DT04, and this is the NXGEN Fighter. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do about this figure. It does look quite cool. I think because I'm going to plan to sort of take this racing, I'll probably run it without a driver. But we'll have a look at that when we get building. So let's get this car out the box and get it built so I can take it out racing. So here it is, the DT04, and we've got the Fighting NXGEN. Looking forward to getting this one up and running. So I'm not going to waffle. I'm just going to get on with this. So in the manual, obviously, step number one, get charged up, because if you're running the out of the box charger, it might take a while, but we're going on to the build step. So first thing we're going to do is build up these diffs and the gearbox. So diffs, gearbox and motor. Now you will notice here we have got some washers, but I have decided to upgrade to some ball races. So I have got some ball bearings here. I've had a look on the box. These are the ones that I needed to order. So I am going to fully ball race this car rather than running the plastic bushings, which cause a little bit more. Tool wise, the main tool you will need is a screwdriver. This is one of the Tamiya ones, but you can get I think it's a JIS screwdriver rather than the Phillips, and that will be perfect for all Tamiya screws. As it is a new build, I've got my magnetic tray which I can chuck all the screws in so they don't roll around on the desk. So let's get these bags open. Stick a little bit of grease in there, then on goes the lid. So as you can see here, they're the bushings, and these are the bearings. So pop the bearings in either end, and then that can get put into this part here. So next we have bearings and the diff, and then we move on to the motor and this part here. Obviously I've put the bearings in already. So the motor that comes in the kit is a torque tune motor, which I need to attach the pinion and stick into this. So the pinion that comes with this kit is a 17, therefore you need to align it with these holes here. So as you can see here, the MA23 is this card spacer. Now if you don't put the card spacer in, which some of you might be tempted to do, this gear rubs on the top of the end can, just there. So I will put the spacer in, hopefully that drops it half a mil so they don't touch. So there's now a gap between there and the end of the motor, perfect. So by using these holes, what it means, it's going to guarantee you a perfect mesh on your gears. Next up, we put the dust cover over the gears. Okay, now we are going to add the arms. Let me just bung in one of these screws here. So next we're adding the upper arms. So I've just got to push this screw in here. So next up, the cups go in. So next up we have these parts to do, and again we need to put in our bearings that we're going to be using, and then we can attach it to the back of the car. So bearings now in situ. So time to put this onto here. Next up, connect these parts to what we've already built. I've skipped a step and popped these on here. Obviously got little ball studs that go on the back so that you can attach the shocks. Now the shocks are really simple to put together, and I like the fact that you can add these to adjust, as opposed to having like the thread that you can adjust them. But the shocks are super simple, you can't really get it wrong. Interestingly, here we don't have piston holes, they've just got a slightly flattened edge which allows movement of oil through. So you can still adjust the shock setup using different weight oils, but I've used exactly what it says in the instructions, and they feel all right. So simply, once you're done, you just pop them on there, and then it actually screws into the bottom, and then the rear is nearly done. Popping this bit on the back, again, we've got 2 screws here and 2 screws under there, and that is this section done. And as we turn the page, we're now on to part bags B. So this is the next section. So now we're looking at the steering accompaniment here, and the next part is getting all the turnbuckles. So I need to get something so I can measure these accurately. So next up we've got these here, which are plastic bearings, but I have got, just over here, bear with me, some metal ones to go in instead. So ball racing this so it just is a little bit smoother, and then we can get the turnbuckles attached and complete this part here. This metal wire literally slides in to hold these in place. Really simple design. And then for the upper arms, they screw in. So that's the next 2 steps on here. Now we need to join them together. So one of the more fiddly jobs actually is getting this gold washer spacer lined up with the shock so you can put this screw in. Other than that, it's all pretty much straightforward stuff. This is just a little bit more fiddly. And now that is the front end pretty much done. Those shocks feel all right. So with the shocks complete and the front end done, it's now time to start installing the electrics into the chassis, and then we just bring it all together. So e-tronics servo I've put in there. It's probably slightly higher spec than I'd go, but this is one that I had at home. So the ESCs on this side, I really like these little channels here, and there's another channel that runs across there, which I've put the wires through so we can attach it to the receiver on this side. I've just used a little bit of the tape that comes in the kit just to hold that in place for some of this. And yeah, it's all very tidy. Now what I need to do is put the back on, which is here, and then we can connect up the wires. So the chassis now pretty much done. Front end's on, rear end's on. This here is quite flexible, the way it's connected at the moment. So the next step is to add this, which is the brace. At this stage you do have to start applying stickers, otherwise you're not going to be able to access them once it's all screwed in. So the base is done. Now it's time to put the body in and finish this car off. So there you go, the build is pretty much complete, and it's time to head out to the track to see how this car performs. So there you go, a little bit of footage of this car in action, and it was great fun. If you'd like to know what I really think about this car, do check out the next video in the series.